Good morning guys from Florida, this is DW and I'm going to talk to you today about repairing a F150 which is poorly idling or cutting out at traffic lights, and you know there's something definitely wrong, especially when you turn in a corner and the truck will literally cut out on you. Now my truck, like I said, is an F150. It's a 2005 model and it's a 4.6 litre engine. Now what I worked out was, at first I thought it was this cable which was actually loose. It kept sliding off because there's a little red tag that you pull out to release it, but that red tag was coming out too easy, it was sliding off. So after about 8 months of, well, it wasn't as bad, but it was 8 months of letting it cut out every so often to literally a week ago where it was cutting out every single day. Sat at traffic lights, it would cut out, so the idling was poor. We went to do a job somewhere and in the truck it just literally cut out and we couldn't get it moving. I bought, I looked online like everyone else does, and if you're expecting me to say, this is how you test something or how you do something, don't even bother, because I'm not a mechanic. I'm a DIY freak and I'll learn and save money the best way. I did actually take this into 4 dealers and they said, oh, we can't do it for a couple of days, and as it's my workhorse I pulled it back and took it home, and then later that day it cut out on me, and that's how you quickly learn. I have a motto, and the motto is those who struggle in life succeed, because obviously you learn to adapt, you will learn to achieve what you're looking for. Right, so all that bullshit aside, I'm going to go straight into it. What I first did is I bought this piece here. Now this is called the Throttle body motor. That's your motor. Now they're in different situations, sometimes they're underneath something or whatever, but on this 2005 model it's up here in the back, easily got to, easily accessible, easily replaced. This unit here is the motor. You don't have to take that off, you just have to take off the screws, which are 1, 2, 3, 4 and one underneath here, 5. This piece here actually pulls out from inside or outside, it clips out, and that's where you adjust the flat plate for the throttle as it opens and closes. I will explain that in a second. Right, so what I did is, the first thing I replaced, like I said, is this unit, the body throttle. Unbolted it, took it off. I opened this with a flathead, pulled it off, saw that my carburetor was absolutely dirty, and cleaned it out, sprayed it and cleaned it. I mean, from a clean towel, you can see how dirty it was. It's never been done before, and like I said, it's an old vehicle, but you live and learn. So I cleaned that out. I then put this unit on, screwed it on, drove it, everything was fine. That day it cut out, like I said, it literally cut out on me after we'd stopped it, and it never started again. It would start poorly, but you could not press the throttle, you could not do anything. So I realised that this unit here is, because it comes with, in the box, it comes with a little plastic unit, which, let me see, I haven't got it because I lost it. It comes with a little plastic unit which allows you to, oh wait on, I've got the old one. That's the old one. Inside here, when you unscrew this from here, there's a spring attached to this unit with a plastic head inside it. That spring is the setting for the throttle here. So if it's not turned anti-clockwise to tighten up the spring, once this is on, you take this plastic lid off, take the plastic lid off, you'll see the visual, you'll see the connection that you've got, you push in and you turn it, and it then locks. then you turn it again and lock. So you do it like probably twice, so it goes around twice, and it tightens up the spring just inside here. Now that then, by tightening it up, when you push the plate in, it's got the torque to it. It goes and pulls back. But if you don't, you can push it and it'll stay open if you don't tighten it up. That was my first problem. So once I'd done that, I tightened it up. It still wasn't revving. It wasn't going, and I literally had to drive a 6 mile distance. Luckily it was back roads on crawl. Literally it was crawling. So when you start the engine, it was just pulling itself along, probably about 5 miles an hour. That's it. So I got myself home, put it under the trees, lifted it up, looked at it again to see, worked with this section all the time, thinking it's this section, it's this section. And then I saw a video where they said something about, oh, you can, how to test this unit, which is the throttle position sensor. And I'm thinking, oh, why would it be that? That's working. That's obviously working because that was turning. I checked out the original one. This turned. This is your motor that turns the coil inside at the cogs inside here. So when that was turned on and when you throttled it, that spun. So that was saying, well, that's good. And it was, but I didn't know that. It was this device. It was the throttle position sensor. Now, I'd read up on, oh, if you take this off and replace it, it needs to be reset, it needs this, you need to test it, you need to take it into the mechanics for them to reset it. Well, I was panicking, thinking, oh God, I've done all that work and now I've got to take it in and pay another $150 or $120 or whatever it is to have this repaired. So what I did is I went to the auto parts. That was my original one, and that is now the new one. Oops. Difference is that one's like an oblongish and this one's different shape, but it does the same thing. It's a sensor. Now if you can see inside there, on the new one, that's got a metal plate that side and a metal plate that side, because what obviously happens is the rod, there's a rod that comes through here, a flat plate rod, which turns, when this is turned, it also adjusts the sensor to tell the engine how much air is going through it or whatever it is, to mix the the gas. So that's what that unit does. And so I went and bought a new one, asked the guy in auto parts, do I need to reset, do I need to do this? He says no, don't worry about that, it automatically does it itself. He said some things on YouTube will say this, this and this, and it's a load of rubbish. So I just took it off with a Phillips head, two screws there and there, took it off, replaced it, put it back together, went in, checked it, started the engine, revved it, and it was like, oh, it purrs. It was absolutely fantastic. It was music to my ears. So if you're struggling with, it cuts out on the corners when you're turning, and it could be the left hand side or the right hand side when you turn, or when you're stopping at lights. And I've seen loads of people, you know, asking, what could it be, what could it be? It's that unit. And the way to check it's that unit is replace it. It's cheap enough. It's about $50 something, and I think that was about $37, $39 or $47 for this unit. So if you're going to replace that, replace that. If you're going to replace that, replace that. The sensors, the bodies. And that was it. As short and sweet as that. So there's the two parts. It comes with instructions, it comes with seals for other types. If you are, it does tell you, you know, if when you take off the gasket, clean it, give it a good clean out, you'll be surprised. Take out the seal, and it comes with a new one of these, paper seal. So replace that as well, may as well do the job. All the rest you look at and think, what's that for? Different bodies, different vehicles, different, you know, usages. So obviously I keep that as a spare. This to me still works because I've seen the motor working, but for let's say about $120, instead of the mechanic saying it's going to be 250 to upwards to 500, then I've done it myself. So I know I'm long-winded, but I'm just telling you the facts. That's the problem. Get it fixed. Have a great day, guys. This is DW signing out.